You get an argument that you have to do the wrong operation at the wrong size to stop some other one doing the wrong operation at the wrong size.
Peter?
I think if the aneurysm is symptomatic and if it's 5 centimeters, then it should be done. Would you agree with that?
No.
So you think symptomatic aneurysms are the same beast as asymptomatic aneurysms? This is quite interesting.
I'm in a mood to disagree with you on anything. And what do you mean by symptomatic aneurysm?
So you
You've got
press
pain
it,
in the
so
toe.
you press on it,
That's,
and the aneurysm is
didn't
tender.
they teach you at your medical school, pathetic
Put
as
it on the
must
neck.
have been,
Same
that
as yours.
I hoped you wouldn't refer to that. That a symptom is what people complain of, and tenderness is a sign.
Still doesn't matter. It's still symptomatic.
Well, it does, if you want
If
to
you
know
put
the
an
difference.
ultrasound, if you put an ultrasound probe on an aorta and
Yeah.
it's tender, that's
a sign.
an indication
That's
for
tender.
an urgent operation.
That's
an
different.
indication that you press
That's a
too
tender
hard.
aorta, and yes, you do operate on that.
Even at 5 centimeters.
Even at 5
So
centimeters.
you're agreeing with me. What took so
No,
long?
I don't agree with you. You said a 5 centimeter symptomatic. They could have symptoms in the
Okay, you got it wrong. A
toe.
5 centimeter tender aneurysm.
aneurysm.
Yes.
Okay, well, you
agree.
just made the wrong point, but now he agrees with you. So we have pieces broken out across this question.
I wouldn't
No,
say that.
not for
Mark.
long,
No,
not for
no,
long.
no.
I was going to answer the question with a question. How many patients
no,
in
no.
those two trials got operated on before, in the surveillance arm, got operated on before 5.5 because of either symptoms, tenderness, or
Stupidity.
patient preference or stupidity? But how many?
Louise, can you remember that? There were...
A small proportion.
Yeah.
It can be seen on the curves. We drew it
It
in.
depends if you include the follow-up when it was actually monitored by a local coordinator, a funded local coordinator, when we were there's very robust data because they measured the aneurysm diameters. When the funding closed for those coordinators, we had to go back and obtain data independently of that without a robust measurement. So there were some, but it was still a very small number, and we're forgetting fast growth here was another regular reason for offering surgery below the 5.5 centimetre threshold that was within protocol.
In total there were about 30 out of 527.
It was very small, yeah. It wasn't a large number.
So about 5%. Then. Yeah. Does that question? Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I
Well,
would...
at least we had women in the UK small aneurysm trial. In the Veterans Administration, they're a rare breed.
Yeah.
Sorry,
But can't we go back to the definition of an aneurysm? Because that's at least an enlargement of 2 or 3 times the original diameter. Well, in some parts of the Netherlands, they have a normal aorta of 3 centimeters in diameter, a normal aorta. So that must be at least 6.5 centimeters to be operated upon. But the lady that Mark is mentioning is coming from the Philippines, and their native aorta is 8 millimeters in diameter, and 3.5 centimeters is already huge and very tenderness. And
we know you have a lot of Filipinos in the Netherlands.
and we have
You
to
each
take
have a
good care
Filipino
of them
maid.
because we want to take
And
care
that
of
explains his
everybody in
current
the
clinical
Netherlands.
practice. It's the Filipino element.
Yeah.
Any other comments? Yes or no on whether it's ethical?
Well, I think it's unwise. I was asked this question once in the, I published a series.
That wasn't the question. Is it unethical? Yes or no?
It's certainly unwise. I think it's unethical in a sense in that you can't really expect any benefit. The fact you might not harm the patient is not a
So
reason to do an
you
operation.
prefer the word unwise, but unethical. Yeah, Janet.
I probably agree with Frank, but I think, moreover, it's very unwise because you miss the opportunity to investigate treatments that are going to stop that small aneurysm growing any further.
Jan, is it wise and ethical?
I don't think it's unethical because the 55 millimeter is too rigid. I know that's what the evidence says, but in individual cases I allow myself to take a 54 millimeter aneurysm to get treated. So I don't think it's unethical.
And Franz, you like being ethical, so
I want to have a reappraisal about what we really call an aneurysm, because a 5.5 centimeter in Friesland is absolutely no
you know,
aneurysm at all.
I know what he calls an aneurysm. He calls an aneurysm an aorta that when he gets a feel that aorta requires to be fixed. And he gets a feel after years of experience in his professorial position. He just knows he has to fix it.
okay, listen, I guess there's not harmony across the table there on whether it's unwise, unethical, whatever, and making some points about native aortas being a different